Imagine a world without apps. It's difficult, isn't it? From music recognition programs to fitness apps, they've wormed their way into virtually every part of our lives. So maybe you have an idea for the next killer app, but you're not really sure how to get it built. Microsoft has a way.
If you're a wannabe geek with stars in your eyes and a great idea for an app, but you just don't have the platform or the resources to build it, Microsoft might have just come up with a solution. They've developed a platform called the App Factory, and it promises to bring many more apps to the world.
We have this concept called For Africa, and really what it is Microsoft's investment into the continent. And when we looked at this big project that we have, we said one of the things that we think is missing is the ability to produce locally relevant applications in a local market. And so my team and I kind of thought a little bit about this, and we said, wouldn't it be great if we can hire a bunch of interns who can, do two things: create locally relevant applications for the market so we can really understand what's relevant in South Africa, what do people want? And then the second thing about it is around the people in the App Factory. And we thought, wouldn't it be great to have a way to take young people through an environment where we teach them how to program, teach them how to code, they create some great apps, add some value to our communities and our software platforms, but then also, I guess at the end of the day, gear them so that they're building some skills and can go and get employment at the end of the day.
The App Factory is staffed by paid interns who are given a platform on which to develop and 9 to 12 months in which to bring their ideas to life. It's a win-win for newbies because they gain work experience whilst building their dream app.
So normally we're looking for somebody who's got a degree or worked in a university environment, but it's not an absolute requirement. Honestly, what we're looking for is the passion to create software. The other thing is we also realize is that you get different type of people that we want in the factory. I think software, especially app software, we realize we need different kind of skills. So we're looking for some really good developers who can develop apps, but we're also looking for some people, for instance, for graphics people who have good user experience skills, who can design good user interfaces, and we can join them up with the developers and therefore create great apps, both visually and from a development point of view.
One of the interns who's gone through the App Factory internship is Mpondo Ndamase. Born in the Eastern Cape, his love for technology was pretty evident at a young age.
So I started at the factory last year in December from varsity. I was attending at Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University, that's in PE. So there I was a MSP, that's a Microsoft student partner, and one of the guys from Microsoft, I liked my work. And then from there, he told me he had an internship, 2 months internship for December and January. After I finished his 2 months internship, I was asked by the App Factory manager if I'd like to join the App Factory. So I looked at what we do as the App Factory, and I loved it, and I said, why not? So I've already developed a few apps. One of them is the Nelson Mandela app. It's called Inside Nelson Mandela. And you get a lot of information of who he is, the milestones in his life, a timeline of events, and a little bit of his biography within the app. I've also done an app called What's On. It's actually in partnership with the What's On guys. So that one is basically a listing of events around the country, the major cities. And I've also developed another one that I think is locally relevant. It's called History Timeline South Africa. So that one is basically the major history events that happened in South Africa. You basically get a timeline of events that have happened throughout the history of South Africa. So when you're designing apps, you need to keep in mind that your app needs to do one thing and one thing great. For instance, if you have an events listing app, that app shouldn't do something like bookings and things like that. We should have one main focus, that is you listing events. So that helps the user to choose, if I want to do this task, which app should I go to?
Microsoft developed the App Factory in partnership with the Johannesburg Centre for Software Engineering at Wits University. Now, their future plans involve partnering with other educational institutions, developing external apps for paying customers, as well as establishing small businesses.